The original COVID-19 strain was found in China back in December of 2019. Over the past year, a number of variants have emerged. 4 have been labelled variants of concern, now known as Alpha, Beta, Gamma and Delta. The Delta variant is the most worrying. It's 60% more transmissible than the Alpha variant, which in turn is about 50% more transmissible than the original Wuhan strain. It's why cities across Australia have gone into lockdown. In the United Kingdom, the Delta strain only emerged in April, when the other variants were starting to come under control. It's quickly taken over as the dominant form of the disease and forced the delay of the reopening there. And there seems to be a different set of symptoms for those who've caught the Delta variant. Previously, fever, persistent cough and loss of taste or smell were the top symptoms. With Delta, a headache is the most common symptom, followed by sore throat, runny nose and fever. Why is this happening? Well, viruses always mutate. It's a normal process. But viruses are not smart. These mutations are not an attempt to beat our systems. In fact, mutations are mistakes. A virus is just a piece of genetic material, RNA or DNA, wrapped inside a shell. And that genetic material is a bunch of molecules that we represent with a series of letters. The letters go together in strings that are the instructions on how to make each part of the virus, like the shell or the spike. Viruses can't multiply on their own. They use cells inside other living things, including us, to replicate. Once inside, the virus makes copies of itself over and over again. But every once in a while, the copying process goes wrong. A letter in the sequence can get swapped or changed. Changes to the Delta variant's code affected the spike protein on the outside of the virus. It's been called the double mutant because it's picked up not one, but 2 major changes. These 2 changes allow the Delta variant to bind with our cells better and then enter them more easily. That's what's made Delta more transmissible and why it's spreading so fast. Now another variant has started to pop up, and there are fears it could be worse than all the rest. Delta Plus. India has announced cases of this variant. It carries a mutation that appears to make it more transmissible, and Indian states are being told by the government to increase testing. Cases have been recorded in at least 11 other countries. On top of what Delta does, the Delta Plus variant has the potential to bind to receptors of lung cells more strongly, which could increase transmissibility. And it may also have a weaker bond to antibodies, thereby dodging our own immune systems. It may mean those who've had the virus before could get it again, as Delta Plus could be able to avoid our own infection-induced antibodies. We shouldn't panic just yet. There just isn't enough evidence to determine anything conclusively. For now, experts are more worried about the original Delta variant that's spreading so quickly. Most importantly, even though Delta Plus may elude our immune defences generated by infection, vaccines provide a much stronger response than our bodies do naturally. So far, none of these variants have been able to beat the vaccines.